Welcome to Bundaberg, home of rum, ginger beer, and sugar. We've got the big rumbo, we've got the big barrel, and we've got the big smokestack. But smack bang in the middle of town, we've got the massive fucking Wailing Wall. The 30 by 25 metre Bundaberg Humpback family mural was painted by American artist Robert Weiland in 1990. It has adorned the cityscape of Bundy for over 30 years, but despite using over 1,000 litres of high-grade, long-wearing paint for the project, the elements have left the Humpback family faded and in need of welfare. The story of the wall begins in the late 1980s, when the Bundy Tourism and Development Board, or the BTDB, was promoting the region as Bundaberg and the Coral Isles due to research showing that 45% of all Australians wanted to visit the Great Barrier Reef. With Bundy's proximity to the southern part of the reef and islands like Lady Elliot and Lady Musgrave, the decision was made to promote the region's maritime image to attract tourists. The board knew that if they could successfully rebrand Bundy as a progressive tourist destination, that they could pull in some serious clams. Inspiration struck in 1988 when John Nielsen of the BTDB, no, not Peter Beattie, visited America and saw the 20-story Wyland Wailing Wall in Waikiki, Hawaii. Given the board's eagerness to elevate Bundaberg's connection to the sea and the budding whale watch tourism in the area, Nielsen felt a whaling wall in Bundaberg could be just the thing to bring a wave of tourists to the area. On John's return to Australia, the board's manager, Paul Neville, was immediately excited and supportive of the concept. So John and Paul, along with the rest of the band, began planning their proposal for their very own Wyland Wailing Wall. But how would they get in contact with the mysterious Wyland? There was no websites, no email, and for a moment, it must have felt like all was lost. But Expo 88 blows the door down. Bringing with it the contacts necessary to bridge the BTDB's little contact issue. Negotiations began on the 25th of July, 1989. Robert Weiland, born in Detroit, was inspired by Greenpeace, Jacques Cousteau, and a family visit to Laguna Beach, California, where he witnessed a mother grey whale and her calf migrating near the shore. His first life-size whale mural was painted at Laguna Beach 10 years later, in 1981. He then committed himself to creating 100 ocean murals worldwide from 1981 to 2008. Although not all of his murals are still visible, his project remains one of the largest public art projects, seen by an estimated 1 billion people each year.
That's a lot of folks!
In March and April of 1990, Weiland was in Australia visiting his friend, actress Linda Blair. You may know her as this sweet little girl.
Your mother sucks cocks in hell.
Blair had spent time in Australia during the late 80s, early 90s, filming two Australian B-grade films, Dead Sleep and Fatal Bond. Both Weiland and Blair shared a passion for animals and nature, later founding non-profit organisations, the Weiland Foundation and the World Heart Foundation, respectively. During their visit, they were invited by Paul Neville to spend a few days on Lady Elliot Island, which they did. Weiland later cited the dives at the island as inspiration for his mural. While in the region, Weiland also inspected the proposed wall on Bourbon Street, and the agreement to paint it was finalised at a picnic at Bundaberg Airport before his departure for America. Legend has it that if you listen very closely, you can still hear Paul Neville's voice on the wind.
Oh mate, there's a bloody great big blank wall in town there, and yeah, if you're up for it, I'd be pretty keen to get it filled in. Could you do it for us, mate?
Weiland returned to Bundaberg on Thursday, September 13th, 1990, and over the weekend he skillfully ghosted the shapes onto the wall. On Monday the 17th, he diligently began filling in the shapes. However, On one particularly windy day, the local council found it necessary to erect parking barricades below to safeguard cars from the paint carried by the wind from Weiland's spray gun.
Wow! A blue car!
Despite this challenge, the painting was successfully completed on Thursday, September 20th, after just 5 days of work and mere hours before the scheduled inauguration ceremony. The event drew a substantial crowd of over 5,000 Bundaberg residents,
That's a lot of folks!
with parts of Bourbon Street being temporarily closed off to accommodate the ceremony. Notably, this mural marked Weiland's 23rd such project, with his 24th and only other Australian mural being painted at the Sydney Aquarium. Ours was bigger. Impressively, despite the approximate cost of the project totaling $120,000, Weiland generously donated his services free of charge.
Another day at the office.
Since its inception, the wall has fallen into disrepair, transforming from a symbol of civic pride into a stark emblem of the CBD's struggles. Despite pleas from locals to restore the iconic mural, efforts were hindered by former owner John Santalucia's reluctance. In 2009, $30,000 was designated for repainting, yet Santalucia, considering plans to sell or redevelop the building, vetoed the restoration. Having purchased the property for $1.3 million in 1990, Santalucia listed it for sale at $4.75 million in 2018, eventually selling it to the Triple S Strawberries family in September 2019. Their intent to convert the building into an off-site student accommodation was slated to commence construction in 2020, but progress has since stalled. As of 2024, the Wailing Wall still remains. As a Bundaberg native born in 1990, the Wailing Wall has been a constant presence throughout my life, symbolising the enduring connection between my hometown and the majestic wonders of the natural world. The Bundaberg Humpback family mural, with its faded yet resonant imagery, serves as a poignant reminder of the importance of preserving our environment and fostering a sense of community and hope for the future. Since its inception as a visionary project by the Bundaberg Tourism and Development Board, and its creation by the renowned artist Weiland, the Wailing Wall has stood as a beacon of local pride and a testament to the enduring spirit of Bundaberg. As we reflect on the significance of the Bundaberg Humpback family mural, I invite you to share your thoughts and memories. What does this iconic artwork mean to you? How has it impacted your perception of our community and the environment? Join me in celebrating the legacy of the Wailing Wall, a cherished beacon of our shared history and the beauty of nature. Though its physical form may change, the memories and the emotions it has stirred in us will endure, weaving themselves into the fabric of our collective story.